So what I'm gonna do, what we're doing today is Tyranny. I'm gonna start doing a bunch of like CRPGs. I just finished PoE 2, not Path of Exile, Pillars of Eternity 2, and it was super fucking fun. I loved the first one, so I am gonna play a bunch of other ones, and I wanted to stream them and put them up in videos and shit. So that's what you're gonna be seeing. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna jump in. I'm doing the hardest difficulty, Path of the Damned, and we're doing expert mode. I'm not doing Trial of Iron because that seems like a nightmare. I've done it once in a game before. I played through all of Pillars of Eternity 1 on Trial of Iron, and I did it. I did beat it. It was a nightmare and very stressful. And I played through almost the entire game of... Fuck, I can't think of it now. What's it called? Baldur's Gate 3. I did almost the entirety of Baldur's Gate 3 with what is effectively Trial of Iron. The one death thing where if you die, the save's deleted. I got to one of the final fights, and I fucked it. So, I'm not doing that, not this time. Maybe we'll come back and do it again in the future, but not right now. So, I'm excited. I've been dying to play this game for a long time. I can't fucking wait. I have a missed phone call from my wife. Oh, it's really important. Oh, ow, fuck. I think there's an intro. I think there's an intro to the game. I'm going to mute while I call my wife. Alright, peace.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spymaster and Archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Right. Tyranny. I missed the entire opening. Can someone give me a brief overview of what just happened? Can I get a brief overview? No? Okay, well, so we have a few different body types we could pick from. I'm guessing this doesn't actually affect anything. Like, usually it doesn't. I kind of want to play a rogue, so I'm feeling something a bit short. You know, short and stumpy. So, what is this? In the Northern Empire, where you were born, men enjoy equal protections under the law of the Overlord Kairos. Kairos is the name of... Kairos is a name out of legend. For centuries, the Overlord has consolidated power, sending vast armies to swallow entire realms. The most powerful mystic the world has ever seen. Dude, why can't I read? Kairos can issue edicts, magical proclamations that level cities, spread pox, sunder the lands, or change the course of seasons. Oh, there's even more. The Archons, the Masters of magic throughout the known world, bow to Kairos. The Overlord readily destroys any Archons unwilling to kneel. These sorceresses and madmen lead the Overlord's armies in near-endless conquest as the realms of the known world fall. I thought that said fail. I thought that was an I for a second. Fall to the Overlord. These captured territories are divided up among the Archons to manage. Able to deliver suffering and woe to every corner of Terratus without leaving the capital. Few have seen the Overlord in person, though Kairos's name is the single most recognized name in the world. Only the Archons can say what the Overlord looks like. Oh, okay. So it's basically like a superpowered dude, and I don't know why that makes any difference. In the southern lands of Tyrs, only men may own or captain ships, but real estate is restricted to women. Men may lease, but durable ownership of the land in the Tyrs always passes to the eldest daughters or sisters. Okay, so women own land, men own boats. Okay, sick. Boat boy. I'm gonna be boat boy. Most sons enter the father's profession by their mid-teens. Those without a profession or family land to work can find purpose by pledging service to one of the Overlord's mighty Archons. Criminals, derelicts, and others are often conscripted into the armies of the Archons. If a child cannot forge his own skein, he will certainly find one in battle. Okay, so, yeah, we're going to be Boat Boy. I kind of want to play a rogue. I don't know what the classes are. I really wish they would put, like, classes before I pick my portrait, but that's fine. Let's do... what is this? Oh, it's faces. Okay, so... that is the squarest jaw I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Let's see. I mean, out of all of these, I think I prefer this one, I guess. We have... The voices are really quiet. I can't change that just yet, so let me just listen.
You must rest soon. Right. Have a look here.
Is that... I mean, it is really quiet right now, and I'll turn it up in a second. But is that Matt Mercer?
Good work.
It is. I'm taking the Matt Mercer voice. I love Matt Mercer. He's sick. So we have tattoos. You know what? The Legend of Boat Boy begins here. We got a little octopus tattoo. I like that. Legend of Boat Boy. We'll do purple and black. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Beard. We gotta have a beard. Boat Boy's gotta have a beard, man. Gotta. Nice. There we go. Hair. Should we go long and unkept? Nope, there isn't unkept, but there's this one. Dude, I kind of look like fucking Jesus, but blonde. Boat Boy Jesus. Alright, let's go next. History. How did you join Kairos's army? Pit fighter. Hunter. Guild apprentice. Noble scion. Diplomat. War mage. Lawbreaker. Soldier. I don't know if this is going to affect... Like, are there classes in this? I don't know if there's, like, flat classes, or if it's just, this is maybe just sort of like history? What is this? What is it? Let's see. Not wishing to pay to feed and house too, the madam that purchased your mother sold you to the Proving Grounds, the Northern Empire's bloodiest, most notorious fighting area, given only enough training to assure the show isn't over too soon. Your natural prowess and survival instinct led you to one victory after another. There was no elegant swordplay, no formalized duels, just brutal melee, and the stench of blood, shit, and bronze with each day's gruesome necessities. Fuck, I was trying to read it. Hello, please. Wait, if I click it, it stays on. It is said that any fighter that slays a dozen others in the grand melee is given her freedom. Why does it say her when I'm a dude? Okay, but in the 300 years, only 3 warriors have ever walked away from the proving grounds. When the closing horn sounded and 13 corpses laid at your feet, you became the 4th to be granted freedom to thunderous applause. But this autonomy was short-lived. Within days, word of your accomplishment made its way to the Archon of Justice. Okay, so that means basically it's just like the starting thing. And so I'll go through a few of these. I don't think... actually, hold on. Lawbreaker might be good. Lawbreaker might be good. If I want to play like a roguey class, like sort of an assassin, this would probably work out well. Accused of a crime you most certainly did commit. That's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Accused of a crime you most certainly did commit. You stood before Tunon. Tunon the Adjudicator is the Archon of Justice, ruler of the conquered realms, and arbiter of disputes. Oldest of the Archons, sent to conquer the Tirs, Tunon speaks with Kairos' authority. His true appearance remains hidden behind an iron mask, the face of judgment. Tunon is an impartial, sober creature, wholly obsessed with justice and order. Though assumed to be a powerful combatant, Tunon rarely strays from his throne room, entrusting his court of fate binders to act as his eyes and ears, as well as judges, juries, and executioners. Okay, so he's basically the right-hand man to the like god all-powerful dude that is Kairos. Fuck. Right, so you stood before Tunon the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, and argued your case with eloquence and conviction. Impressed by your logic, reason, and confidence, he found you guilty anyway. Okay, that seems kind of pointless. It is rumored that Tunon selects many of his agents from his prisoners. Oh, okay, so we impressed him. He still found us guilty, but then he potentially moved us to fight the war, I guess. Who better to catch the wicked than those versed in such ways? In his mercy, Tunon offered you the choice of 2 sentences. Decades languishing? Is that the right word? What the fuck does languishing? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Decades languishing in prison, or a lifetime serving him in the court of fate binders. The choice was an easy one, and instead of seeing the inside of a cell, you were trained in letters and numbers, magic and war. The laws you once broke are now yours to interpret and enforce. See, I don't know if I like that, but I do kind of like the idea that we could do that. Maybe in the back of our mind, we're thinking that we're going to break free. That's kind of a cool little idea. Let's try one more. I want to try Hunter. I want to see what Hunter is. So, when the leader of your home village spoke out of turn, one time too many, agents of the Overlord put the whole town to the torch to contain the spread of insubordination. The Bounding Viper tribe came across the smoking ruins of your village, and when the beast's matriarch found you frozen but unafraid, the mighty leader took you in and raised you with the protection of her tribe. For years you lived with these wild beast men in there. Okay, so I feel like it's wild stuff. I don't think that's going to go. We're going to go with Lawbreaker. I like that. Primary expertise. Sword and shield. Sword and shield, fellers. Sword and shield. No, I don't like that. Unarmed attacks. Dual wielding. I feel like dual wielding's probably the best one here. Possibly short bow. This gives dodge. What does this give? Gives parry. So that's like fighter. This is like barbarian. This is like hunter. Obviously, all the spells are kind of... I think we're going to go dual wielding. I like dual wielding. I don't like the weapons it's given me here, though, because I want to play more of a rogue. Let's have a look. Sword and shield, that's like gladiator stuff, that's heavy. Short bow. You know what? This kind of looks... This honestly kind of looks more like... roguey, javelin, dual wielding, unarmed attacks. Unarmed fighting is one of the more challenging combat styles. Danger is generally lower, but this is offset by the speed of your attacks. Damage is generally lower. Sorry, I read that Is offset by the speed of your attacks, a good style for someone interested in being challenged. While fighting unarmed, the dodge skill is used to avoid melee attacks rather than parry. So this gives us subterfuge, determines your character ability to move unseen, so that's like stealth. I think, honestly, short bow is probably best. I think we go short bow, secondary and unarmed. And that makes us a bit more like stealthy, gives us higher dodge. Yeah, okay, I'm good with that. Secondary. Oh, do I have to pick one of these? Heart shot or hobble? I'm assuming hobble reduces movement speeds. Yeah, hobbled. And this one does what, more damage, or it does bleed? Let's have a look. So, bleeding for 23 seconds causes raw damage over time. I don't know. Valid weapons, bows and thrown weapons, and this is the same. It's bows and thrown weapons. Let's do. I'm trying to think how I'd want to do this. So, I feel like if we're gonna go pure damage, CC is probably better for like a different party member, something that's tanky. So we're gonna go with bleed. And then secondary, I'm going to take unarmed strikes for the when they get too close, which should hopefully give me some extra like dodge and such, I hope. I don't know if it actually does give me extra dodge and such, but we're going to go with this either way. Flurry of Blows. It's like the monk from D&D. Flurry of Blows. Unleash a double attack on your enemy. So you hit twice, basically. And this one is Palm Strike. From a powerful palm strike to the target, interrupting them, pushing them back. Okay, so we want this one. Because we're not looking to do damage with the unarmed strikes. We're looking to create distance. So that's what we shall do. Now, what is next? What is it going to do? Choose colors. Okay, well, we know that I like a good purple here and there, so I'm thinking black with dark purple. Like, just the way it gave me. I like that. That's pretty good. Banner customization. What is a banner? Well, I mean, I know what a banner is, but I mean, like, what is it in terms of this? Is this like a house thing? So I can choose a background color and then an initial color of the... Okay, is there like a... I kind of like that, honestly. That's not bad. That's not bad. I don't mind that. I kind of like this one. This looks pretty cool. Sure, we'll go with that. Name. Oof. Any suggestions? I don't know if people are actively here right now. Oh no, you know what? We're gonna go, I don't know. Hold on. Okay, let's do, I usually have, like, names for this, but it's all human, so I don't know, I don't have, like, a human name. Let's go... what did I call my character in thingy? Thorin? Yeah, sure, let's do that. Let's do Thorin, I like that. Okay, so, might, finesse, quickness, vitality, wits, let's see. Might determines the physical strength of a character. Might increased might leads to more powerful attacks and stronger abilities, as well as increasing the effects of increasing the endurance defense. So done. Finesse. Okay, so this does accuracy and armor deflection. Quickness is that spells. This is health and will defense. Wits is magic defense, and resolve is affliction duration, endurance, will, and magic defense. So we probably want to have a... I want to do a lot of damage. So I think I'm going to bump that straight to 16. 18% attack and ability strength. 18 endurance to strength. 18 endurance strength. The one for ability and spell cooldown. Quick... Ooh, it's ability cooldown though, not just... perhaps we drop that to 6, to 8, sorry. We will put 2 in finesse, and then it's health and will defense, spell strength and magic defense, and then I think I'll put 2 in resolve. I think I like that. I think I like, because I think I want to try and build it more for like basic attacks. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. So we've got skills. I got points available for skills. I do not need one-handed weapons. We definitely want bows. So we're going to bump that to... Let's put it at 38 for now. Support skills. I want to bump up dodge to, say, 26. I want to bump up subterfuge to 30. I want to bump up unarmed combat to... You know what? Maybe we don't need 36. Let's do 36, and then I'll put that to 30, and then we'll do dodge to 28. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Maybe even lower subterfuge down a little bit. Maybe... Because I feel like dodge is probably better. Yeah, let's do that. I like this. This one looks pretty good. I like the look of this. Let's go next. Conquest or Quick Start. Selecting Conquest option will allow you to play through Kairos' conquest of the Tiers, choosing how your character was involved in the invasion. This gives you the most control over your starting state in the game and how other factions will react to your character. I guess we'll do Conquest then. I guess we'll play Conquest.
All the world has fallen to Kairos. And now the Overlord's eye is on the Tiers, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior. In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrived at the Gates of Judgment. The mountainous border that we Tiersmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tiers sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors. Until it's too late.
Okay. Conquest. During the conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of the Tiers, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the Tiers respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. Okay. Alright, cool. So 228 TR, Year of Kairos' Conquest. Year 1 of Kairos' Conquest. Bastard City. Let's have a look. Named for its position between 2 realms, the Northern Empire and the Southern Tiers, the Bastard City and its surrounding lands, known as the Bastard Tier, is a melting pot of cultures and a place of commerce and intrigue. The Tiersmen of the South view the Bastard City as a place of wealth and access. But to the people of the Northern Empire, the Bastard City is little more than a sprawling slum. Tunon, the Adjudicator, established his court in the Bastard City. From this foothold in the Tiers, he and his court of Fatebinders impose Kairos' law upon the conquered lands. Okay, so this kind of makes sense. So decision, I think here, it makes a lot of sense because we took the Lawbringer out, like the Lawbreaker background, and if this is where he is, I don't know if he's currently here or not. Established his court in the Bastard City. I don't know if that means that he's already there, but we'll read through this and we'll see. So, the Bastard City stood on the northern border between Kairos' empire and the Tiers. Built upon a natural harbour at the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tiers, it was the centre of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' army. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the Tiers. Kairos' will is insurmountable. Wait, so... But didn't it just say... Am I getting confused here, or did it not just say that this is where Tune on the Adjudicator? Yeah, it says established his court in the Bastard City, but that implies that it's already owned by Kairos, no? Unless we were taken in under his wing prior to the invasion, which would make sense, I guess, because and then that would be his base of operation. So, okay. Select a token on the map to begin. Gates of Judgment. In the first major engagement of the war, Kairos' army crosses the mountain and established a foothold. Crosses the mountains and establish a foothold. Or infiltrate the tiers. Both armies sent their forces to prepare the way. So, in the first major engagement of the war, Kairos' armies crossed the mountains and established... So, we can either cross the mountains, establish a foothold closer to the city, or infiltrate the tiers. Both armies sent their forces to prepare the way. I wish I had more information on what this meant. I'm gonna go with the Gates of Judgment, I think. Unless... Oh, okay, this isn't... There is more information. I should have clicked. The armies of Kairos took the battle to the Gates of Judgment, trumpeting the opening call of the conquest of the tiers. The two armies, the disfavored, this is something we saw in one of the things that I didn't read, disciplined and battle-hardened. The disfavored are an elite legion in Kairos' army. They spearheaded the conquest of the younger realms, finding themselves always outnumbered but never outclassed. Led by the steadfast and dutiful Graven Ash, whom they follow with obsessive devotion, they are committed to imposing their interpretation of order upon the relative lawlessness of the tiers. The Legion only tolerates Northerners in their ranks, priding themselves on their high standards and cultural purity. Jeez. Okay, so where were we? The Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus. Okay, so Scarlet Chorus is a little more than a gang of thugs and their captive slaves. Rather than organize under commissioned officers, the Chorus follows a hierarchy, seemingly ruled by whoever has the bravado to command and defend their position. At the head of this chaotic pecking order, the Archon of Secrets, better known as the Voices of Nirat, treats the Scarlet Chorus as his personal army. The Scarlet Chorus often suffers tremendous losses after battle, only to swell in the aftermath when captured enemies and collateral prisoners are given the cruel opportunity to join or die. Okay, so the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus brought their distinctive sense of order and chaos to the assault. You went to the battle alongside the army whose approach suited your strengths best. Okay, so I don't think Scarlet Chorus... I think Disfavored is probably better. They're like the elite legion. They'd be the people that I would sort of want to... Yeah, I'm going to join in alongside the Disfavored. I think that's probably the better option. Standing shield to shield with Kairos' ironclad elite, you advanced on the mercenary army purchased by the nobles of the Bastard City. Or maybe not then. The Legion wanted to send a message to the tiers that superior breeding and discipline training would win the day. What is this one? You rushed with the chaotic mass of the Scarlet Chorus, flanked the Bastard City's armies, and drove them to flee. Ooh. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with this one. I like this one. Yeah, let's do that. The Bastard City learned too late that a military is earned and never bought. The mercenary army quickly found themselves outclassed by the superior tactics and formation of the Disfavored. Those few who lived to the end of the battle were rounded up, the weak executed, the strong enslaved to haul the army's wagons on the journey south. Okay, alright. Cool. No doubt. This one, judge the enemy. You decide the fate of the enemy soldiers captured in battle, or feed the host. You found a way to feed Kairos' armies in enemy territory. I think from what they've already said, they are dealing with the enemy. So I don't need to worry about that. We're going to go with feeding. Against the most optimistic projections, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus make short work of the local defensives. They did so well that the armies quickly outpaced their supply caravans. Troops were plentiful, but food was scarce. You only had time to execute one plan to secure provisions. You authorize disfavored troops to confiscate food and supplies from traveling merchant caravans. The Tiers have had already spent ignorant centuries gluttoning themselves outside of Kairos' law. You authorize the Scarlet Chorus to send their horde out to pillage from farms and villages, spreading the infamy of Kairos' army, prepared the Tiers for the reality of the impending conquest. I mean, I kind of prefer this one. I think this is just a better option, honestly. So I think that's what we're gonna go with. We're gonna go with this one. Yeah, I like that. After raiding the wagons of unsuspecting caravans and securing days' worth of provisions and supplies, the disfavored found a cache of goods behind a hidden panel. They confiscated potions and elixirs bound for secret contacts within the bastard city. The whole filled the disfavored larder? The disfavored larder with provisions for the following year, and denied the defenders of the bastard city supplies that would be desperately needed in the siege to come. I'm reading too fast for my own good, dude. I can't fucking... Anyway. Next, taking the bastard city. The armies of Kairos amassed around the bastard city, the first bastion of the Tiers to fall. Both armies longed to storm the walled outpost. The Scarlet Chorus howling for plunder, and the disfavored forming an unbreakable shield wall. Your prowess on the field of battle had carried them this far, but there was one more step before total victory. Both of the armies had inspired schemes to take the bastard city. Which do you support? Okay, so what's this? Sabotage the city's defenses, burn the city, assault the main gates. Ah, okay, so this is like a mix between the two. You led a mixed band of disfavored and Scarlet Chorus scouts over the city walls to sabotage its defenses. You join the Scarlet Chorus. I think, honestly, this is probably better than all of this. I think it's, like, if they have strong defenses, it's pointless to just run at the gates. And setting fire to the city. Yeah, and burning the city is just bad for us. We want to take it and have it as a stronghold. So we will 100%. Bastard city fell quickly to Kairos' superior might. Intelligence. That's how you win a war, boys. Hold on a second. Wait. I need to check this. What is this? Weird. Okay, so the bastard city settled into a new state of normalcy. With every tower displaying Kairos' banner, your name was whispered alongside rumors of a decorated career to come. The armies divided into two fronts and migrated south. Tunon sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Kairos' conquest, either as judge and overseer of the settlement of Leviathan's Crossing, or as a war advisor, with the armies advancing into the realms of Apex Legends. So I can either be judge and overseer of Leviathan's Crossing, or war advisor going to the Apex. Deposits of iron made the settlement of Leviathan's Crossing a strategic war asset. Kairos sent the forge-bound smith mages of exceptional skill to establish a flow of weaponry. Tunon, the Adjudicator, sent one of his fate binders to ensure enforcement of Kairos' law. So it would be like either I'm doing this with him, or I am not. So like, basically, I'll be by myself, or I go and then help take the next section, I guess. The troops of the mountain realm of Apex stood idle in the safety of their valley, biding their time as their neighbours in the bastard city Tyr fell. In the second year of the war, a joint force of the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus crossed over the mountains to take control of the Tyr's central valley. I feel like if we had just had such success in Apex, there's no way we'd be sent to guard here, right? They would want us on the front lines. So we're gonna do Apex. I think that makes more sense. Year 2 of Kairos' conquest. Apex. The mountain nation of Apex, ruled for generations by the queens of House Vendrian, stood at the heart of the Tiers. No army could bypass the landlocked realm without leaving their flank exposed to attack. By the second year of the war, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus had pushed deep into the Tiers. Elements of both armies were displayed to conquer Apex. Tunon assigned you to accompany them, tasked with bringing Kairos' law to the territory, as well as keeping an eye on both armies. Okay. So, we have two options. Battle of the Edgering Pass, or Denial of Strength. Okay, let's have a look. So, the Disfavored sent their most destructive ally to crush Edgering Fort. Ken. Okay, well, we haven't seen this guy yet. Ken. As tall as the hills, Ken is the Archon of Stone, master of earth and soil, destroyer of mountains and cities. Ken is the reluctant leader of the Earthshaker Guild, though he is less their teacher and more their object of study. The massive Archon is sworn to Graven Ash, and provides arcane support to the Disfavored war effort. Okay, so he's a big dude. Archon of Stone buried the stronghold under an avalanche triggered. Okay, that doesn't seem like triggered from the surrounding mountains. The Scarlet Chorus were promised captured enemies for recruitment, yet none survived. See, I don't think destroying the outpost is the best decision. Let's have a look. Denial of Strength. A school of water mages loyal to the Tiersmen posed a substantial threat. The Disfavored wished to annihilate the school, while the Scarlet Chorus insisted on capturing the mages wishing to learn their craft. Honestly, I think in terms of skill, this is the best option. You side with the Scarlet Chorus, ordering the Mage Elders to be taken alive for interrogation. Of course. Well, you get the boost strength for the army, right? Though countless lives were lost taking the mages into custody, the Scarlet Chorus praised your name as they dragged the beaten elders of the school to the Voices of Nerat. Voices of Nerat, known in his official capacity as the Archon of Secrets, the Voices of Nerat is equal parts genius and madman. Rumors abound that he can steal the minds of others, though few, if any, are alive to confirm as much. The subjects of his interrogation are never heard from again, and the Archon is able to recall the memories of his victims with startling accuracy. He is the inconsistent leader of the Scarlet Chorus, vacillating between commanding from the vanguard and directing his armies in absentia. Despite his strange methods, no one doubts that the Voice of Nerat is an accomplished strategist, even suggesting that his madness stems from thinking hundreds, perhaps thousands of steps ahead of his enemies. Oh, wow. So they dragged the beaten elders of the school to the Voices of Nerat's tent. As a wave of screams and incoherent pleas reached their crescendo, the Scarlet Chorus soldiers outside cheered for their Archon. The Disfavored adjourned to their camp in grim silence, claiming the Chorus lacked the will and desire to fully wipe out the traces of the enemy school. Yeah, but, I mean, gaining more strength is always better, right? In combat, no? So, I think we did the right thing there. A captive captain, or poisoning the well. Poor communication led to the gruesome death of Disfavored scouts. Okay. Hoping to break the siege, Scarlet Chorus agents poisoned the Apex water supply in secret. Days later, uninformed Disfavored scouts died of illness. Outraged by the failure of communication, the Disfavored demanded the Chorus agents be turned over to them for punishment. Okay, or this one. When Kairos' forces captured a celebrated enemy hero, the armies bickered over his fate. The Disfavored wanted to set him free to convince his peers of Kairos' mercy. The Scarlet Chorus wanted him flayed and staked as an example. I don't know. This is a tough one. The trouble is, if you give him back, it gives them more of a fighting chance, right? You agreed with the disfavored's plan and sent the enemy captain back with a message. All those who surrendered or cooperated would be treated with deserving respect and subjects of Kairos' peace. Sure, we'll do that one. Shocked by your clemency, the enemy captain vowed to deliver his message in full and paid his respects before departing for his encampment. Though typically more uncompromising, the disfavored praised your innovative thinking. The Scarlet Chorus despised what they viewed as resources wasted only to release a known enemy back into the wild. I kind of get what they're saying, but like I feel like if you're going to try and drum up support from the enemy side, that might work. The fall of Apex. With the defeat of Apex inevitable, the armies of Kairos met to discuss how to put an end to this siege of the conquest. Both armies agreed to send an offer of parley. Along with their acceptance, the enemy requested that you appear at the meeting. Word of your fair dealings had apparently spread to their ranks. How did you ostracize... Oh, Jesus. I'm going to pretend I know that I said that word. The surrender of the Apex Realms. Okay, so we have two options. Through days of mediation, you negotiated surrender of the Valley of Kairos' forces, putting an end to their further bloodshed. Taunting the Queen of Apex into striking you under a banner of truce, you baited the Queen of Apex into a duel and slew her, frightening her vassals into submission. I think diplomacy is always better. So we're going to go with this one. Your former enemies were loath to part with their lands, but they were even more reluctant to continue a war they were losing at every turn. The Tearsmen are a stubborn lot, and despite their grim situation, it still took days of discussion and diplomacy to show them the madness of tenacity. On the third day of mediation, the rulers of Apex finally submit to your terms of surrender, putting an end to the war in the valley and keeping up Kairos' forces to march, and freeing up Kairos' forces to march deeper into the tiers. Okay. Good. I think we still have two more of these to go through. Okay, so we have three choices. The land of Apex finally rested in the hands of Kairos' forces. The Scarlet Chorus paused to revel in victory while the disfavored prepared for the next fight, affording themselves but an evening's rest. Kairos' armies radiated out from the conquered citadel and worked their ways across the tiers. The disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus aimed to dominate as much territory as possible in the coming year. Your distinguished reputation in Kairos' military left the choice of your next destination yours to make. Okay, so we can go to Azure, Vellum Citadel, or Stalwart. Stalwart's down here, Azure is there in the middle, and... No, Azure is at the top, and this one's in the middle. So, okay, I still have to confirm. So, let's see. It doesn't actually give me much information on these, which is kind of annoying. But so Azure, Kairos dispatched the Archon of Stone to subjugate the nation of Azure. Kairos' conquering gaze fell upon the Velium Citadel, its treasures, its knowledge, its secrets, or... With its easily defended position and rich military tradition, the realm of Stalwart is the most formidable realm in the tiers. So, do I want to go for treasure, knowledge, and secrets? I don't think this is the right decision. I don't think this is the right one. I think it's one of these two. Do I go for the strongest and hardest place to conquer? Or do I go for secrets and knowledge? I think this is, like, strategically, I think this is out, right? Obviously, no matter what I pick, we win. I'm pretty sure. But, like, logically, if we took this, we're then pincered from both sides, right? But I guess this one is as well. But then we have to fight. We're gonna go with Stalwart. Let's do Stalwart. Stalwart. 40-30 TR. Year 3 of the Conquest. Kairos' Conquest. Stalwart. The realm of Stalwart was best known for its proud army, disciplined, courageous, and undefeated on their home soil. Skill and resolve make Stalwart a military power that Kairos' forces approached with due caution. With its southern position, Stalwart had been largely safe from war, watching for 2 years as its neighbors fell to Kairos' forces. On the dawn of the 3rd year, Kairos' forces were finally poised to invade the Starwart Peninsula and subdue the Tyr's most vaunted army. Lots of big words here that I've never seen before. Marching on MT. The Stalwart defenders burned their crops as they retreated, leaving the invaders little to forage. Starving, the Scarlet Chorus mob raided from the disfavored's well-maintained supply lines, incurring casualties on both sides. That's not fucking good. What's this one? A conscientious setback. After a defeat at the hands of the enemy defenders, the Scarlet Chorus accused the disfavored of recklessness. The disfavored claimed the Scarlet Chorus brought too few soldiers to cover their flanks. Both armies refused to march until you gave a ruling. Knowing the disfavored reputation for for discipline as well as the Scarlet Chorus, you know what? I don't know about that one, but this one is clear cut to me. You ordered that the thieving Scarlet Chorus soldiers be spiked for their affront. Yeah, of course. If you don't plan this shit yourself, you're fucked. Let's do that. Okay, 2 seconds. Marching on him. Oh, this is the same thing. Yeah, so I didn't fucking read, did I? So, even in a time of war, there was no excuse for allied armies to battle each other in violation of Kairos' peace. The disfavored rightly argued that they only had enough supplies to feed their troops. The Scarlet Chorus needed to better look after their own people. Agreeing with their assessment, you had the offenders staked outside of the Scarlet Chorus camp, left to send the message that hunger was no shield from justice. Get fucked. Okay, so we have Better Dead Than Red, or The Beasts of Stalwart. Let's try this. Scarlet Chorus mages discovered a spell to turn beastmen slaves against their handlers. The army prepared to deploy this tactic elsewhere, but the disfavored protested. The use of unsanctioned magical practices ran contrary to Kairos' law, and beastmen were considered too erratic to be relied upon even as shock troops. Okay. Rather than submit to Scarlet Chorus conscription, conquered locals began committing suicide. Desperate to add more bodies to the horde, the Scarlet Chorus demanded a portion of disfavored prisoners. The disfavored denied the right of recruitment as the realm's population had taken a steep decline. I agree with this. You banned the Scarlet Chorus from recruiting in the realm of Stalwart, going so far as notifying the locals to assuage their fears. Yep, let's do that. Let's do that one. Okay, you agreed with the disfavored arguments. This conquest was never about ruling a graveyard, but the Scarlet Chorus acted contrary to that goal. The voices of Norat and his mobs blamed you for suppressing their ability to conduct war as they saw fit. In spite of their protests, you read this proclamation in every conquered village, knowing that enemy spies would hear your verdict. The Edict of Storms. The disfavored carved a slow, steady path into the heart of Stalwart and surrounded the enemy's massive fortress. With the main bulk of their forces defeated, the enemy leadership retreated to their mighty fortress, content to wait out the war. The Overlord answered this Hold on a second. I'm having a moment. The Overlord answered this impotence with an edict of storms. Powerful magic that Kairos' most powerful magic that is of the edict. Commandments cast upon whole religions regions, why can't I read, man, that can control and destroy man and nature alike. Once cast, an edict can rain fire, wither crops, demoralize cities, usher in endless nights, or do whatever it is that Kairos envisioned. No known force, magical or mundane, can stop an edict. Okay. Oh, hello. Howdy, howdy. Yeah, it's good to see you, Zebman. I am back. I am back. I am back for now. Also, hi, darling. Edict of Storms on the Peninsula. A devastating spell that would ensure for as long as the cowardly hearts of Stalwart's leaders persisted. Why can't I read, dude? I'm going to try that again. Hearts of Stalwart's leaders persisted in beating. Knowing you had the trust of Graven Ash, Tuon deemed you the proper representative to deliver Kairos' edict. Aside from being given a 3-day window to read the edict, you received no other instructions. Okay, cool. Edict of Storms. Agreeing with the wishes of the disfavored, you proclaimed the edict at once, leaving the enemy no time to react. Stalwart had ample opportunity to surrender for several years. The time of mercy was long gone. Okay, darling. I love you. Have fun with the dog. In an attempt to integrate themselves with the people of Stalwart, the Scarlet Chorus insisted that warning be sent to the towns and villages so that people may prepare for the horror about to descend on them. This doesn't... Why... This doesn't... I feel like this is switched, no? I mean, I'm 100% going with Scarlet Chorus here. You don't want to rule a completely eviscerated land, right? Kairos' wrath was intended for the cowardly regents of Stalwart, not those unfortunates swept up in the calamity of their leadership. A warning in advance of the spell would give locals time to prepare for the devastation to come. You were content to let punishment fall on the innocent as lightly as Kairos' will allows. Comforted that you might yet spare lives, you broke the seal of Kairos' Egypt of Storms and revealed the Overlord's incantation. Ooh! Let's go, we destroyed Stalwart. Stalwart? Edict of Storms. A clear sky. The clear skies darkened as you... Okay, well, let's do the clear skies darkened as you read the final words of the edict. A flurry of wind and rain whipped through the rolling plains and craggy canyons, turning rocks, uprooting trees, and hapless soldiers into hazardous shrapnel. Armed with a message of foresight, you were able to remove yourself from the area before the storms grew more violent. Over time, nearby communities told of cyclones consisting of thousands of soldiers worth of limbs, spears, armor, and skulls. What's more, the weather showed no sign of dissipating. Several units of disfavored who fought the enemy in spite of the advancing storm were caught up in the Overlord's magic. The few survivors regrouped and nursed their wounds. Their failure to topple the Stalwart Legion shamed them into believing the dead more fortunate. Jesus. Yeah, don't worry. There's not a lot more text. This is the opening. So basically, it's a CRPG. It's kind of like I guess the easiest way to describe it is actually, you know, it's kind of like Baldur's Gate 3, but instead of everything being voiced over, it's all text. So you read it. This is just the opening to decide how the game plays out going from there. So it only a little bit more reading, and then it's into the gameplay, and it'll be a lot easier. Also, yeah, it snowed here as well. It snowed here this morning. There was snow everywhere. The name Stalwart fell from use. People took to calling it the Blade Grave. That's cool. What's this? Right, it's telling me to right-click for details. The Blade Grave is the name given to the remains of the realm of Stalwart after its ruination when Kairos proclaimed the Edict of Storms upon the land. The magical storms struck the disfavored and unbroken armies during the height of their engagement. Now most of what remains is a blighted landscape of discarded armor and weapons and high winds of rust and human dust. Jesus. For the remade landscape festooned with the iron and bronze armaments of 2 once great legions. Guess if it snowed... Yeah, I bet it probably did. As Kairos' forces departed, you spared a glance back at the ruins of Stalwart, marveling at your work. You didn't have long to rest before Tunon called you into service once more. Okay, this is the last part of the conquest, and then it's into gameplay. Oh, wait. Oh, I did it! You reached the end of the conquest. I did it. Yeah! It hasn't snowed much here, though. We had, like, maybe dish much snow. Just teeny tiny. It has been really deep up north, though, in England. You've reached the end of Kairos' conquest. Do you want to continue or erase your progress and start over? Why in the fuck would I want to do that? I just spent, like... I think I just spent, like, 40 minutes reading. I don't want to do that again. Hell no.